Still on to the conversation on Lagos television. It's a season of off-cycle elections in the country, starting with that of Ekiti State, which is slated for the 20th of June, 2026, and that's this Saturday. There are a lot of issues surrounding this election. INEC has already cleared about 13 political parties to take part in this election, but then people are asking so many questions. Will it be a roller coaster for the incumbent governor? Will it be a coronation? Or there are semblance of some development that might likely swing the pendulum of this particular election in the favor of the opposition. We have two gentlemen here with us on the program, one via Zoom and the one right here in the studio with us. We have Mr. Bola Bolawole, journalist and political observer in the studio. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much, brother. I'm happy to be here.
And of course, joining us all the way from Ekiti State is B. Fashoyin, technical advisor to the governor on Change Management Office of Transformation and Service Delivery. Good morning from Ekiti.
Good morning.
All right. Let me start with Mr. Bola Bolawole. Okay, this particular election, which is slated for Saturday by INEC, like I did say, 13 political parties will be taking part in this election. Do you think it's going to be a roller coaster for the incumbent governor, or there are things that you have seen on ground, being someone that is very close to that state, that might swing the favor in favor of the opposition?
No, I don't see anything on ground that may swing the election unless if we have a miracle happen. You see, because I have written about the election, I have said it's going to be more of a coronation
than
election, because the opposition in that state have not put their acts together. You see, the problem with the opposition is general, just like we have had all over the country, the problems with PDP. The PDP used to be the ruling party in that state, and then after the lost election, it was a major opposition party, but now the PDP is factionalized. We don't even know whether they have a candidate or not. And then the ADC came on board, and we have also seen the problems of the ADC, which is still ongoing. So the Labour Party in the last election was a formidable force, particularly with Obi as their presidential candidate. But today now we see that the Labour Party is also factionalized, and we don't even know where it is. So the other party where Obi went to now, the African Democratic Congress or whatever they call it, these two, they also have problems, and they are still trying to sort out their problems. So it's like the opposition parties all over the country, they have not been able to put their acts together during this election cycle. So it's affecting the states as well. So I expect that in the elections that we are going to have in Ekiti and the one that will come after it in Osun State, that the opposition parties will be seriously affected. They will not be able to contest that election as they used to, with full force, with full idea. Their might, their power, their strength have been drastically weakened. So thereby giving the governor that is there, the sitting governor, the incumbent, just like the leeway for him to just coast home to victory. I think, except there's an upstage, a miracle will happen. Except, like they say in football, except it happens against the run of play. But if the play goes on as we are seeing
as expected, it's more or less. Yes. Okay, Mr. Fashion, you are on ground, and without sounding like you're campaigning for the incumbent governor of Ekiti State, how would you describe the political atmosphere as we speak, even though we know that elections are just a few days away? And I know that the All Progressives Congress is dotting the I's and crossing the T's just before Saturday. So at the moment, how is it feeling? What is the political atmosphere like in Ekiti State?
Thank you very much. Bimbo, I guess?
Yes, please. Right.
Okay, Bimbo, thank you very much. I would say this without sounding, like you said, like I'm campaigning or whatever. I think this is the first time in Ekiti's history that we're going to have an election in the next few days and we have a convivial atmosphere. Everybody's ecstatic, no gunshot, no political suicide, murders, nothing. Everybody's happy. You know, we're going to this election, you know, with an atmosphere that's like we're going to have a carnival, kind of. So, and I think this is definitely because of the fact that since 1914, let me even go before that, since the Ekiti Parappa Wars, there has never been a time in Ekiti's history where leaders of Ekiti came together in one voice, you know, regardless of political leanings, regardless of religious, primordial sentiments, whatever. Everybody came together for the first time. Just like my brother there said, ordinarily when you have a very strong opposition, you know, there's always that tendency for, you know, different kinds of violent resistance and people shooting each other and whatever. But for the first time, there's no opposition. The main party in the state is the PDP. And the leader of the PDP in the state, Shivayo Fayoshe, is 100% with us. So there can't be any opposition because I mean, ordinarily that should be the opposition, but they're with us because for the first time, they have looked beyond, you know, political whatever to see that what this government had done in the past 4 years is worthy of commendation and should be supported. And that's why, again, for the first time since politics started in Nigeria, since 1999, we have never had any individual do a back-to-back, you know, winning in our history. Check all the records. Ayofayoshe went away, Fayemi went away, Adebayo went away. Everybody first go away. Can come back later some years. But for the first time, we are so optimistic that this time we're going to have a jinx breaker, and that's Governor Biodo Abayomi Oyebanje, based on the track records he has set for the state.
Okay, B, please explain what you meant by saying that there is no opposition in Ekiti State, because I know that Dr. Wole Oluyede will be representing the PDP and Dare Bejide of the ADC will also slug it out with the incumbent governor on Saturday. So what do you mean by saying that there is no opposition in Ekiti State?
Okay, so let me take Oluyede for example, Dr. Oluyede, a fantastic son of Ekiti, no doubt. But like I said, you know, the head of the PDP in Ekiti is Kifayo Fayoshe. I mean, you can fact check that out, either legally or otherwise, even by court release. He is actually the leader of PDP in the state, and he is with ADC. So I would say that yes, you have Oluyede there, but it's on paper. It's on paper. On the ground, you do not have, and they don't have any support because there is none of them that can match the sagacity of Ayo Fayoshe, the popularity, the power, the hold. You know, so he is. In fact, he was with us yesterday at the Mega Rally, and he's leading this campaign. So yes, Oluyede is there, but I'm sorry to say it's a headless party.
Okay. Coming back to Mr. Balabalawale, because you're a journalist and you also do a lot of fact-finding when it comes to states, you know, issues, and I know that, of course, Ekiti State is one of those states that you're also very close to. If you were to take a look at the positives or the advantages Mr. Biodo Oyebanje has as the incumbent, what are some of those things that you think that he did so well during his first tenure that may endear the, you know, the people of Ekiti State who want him to come back, especially the civil servants of that state?
His humility.
His humility.
His humility.
Okay.
You see, a lot of people will there will be arguments about whether he performed or did not perform to their expectations, whether he built enough roads or did not build enough roads, whether the infrastructure was improved upon, whether he did this or he didn't do that. There, you know, politicians will not agree. There will be controversies.
Absolutely.
He didn't do this, he didn't do that. I saw pictures on social media of terrible roads. That they said he didn't do this road, he didn't do that road. And we also saw roads that he did. We saw the cargo airport that he completed. We also had people saying that, oh, it is a waste of money. Is that what we need, and things like that. So there are arguments about performance on those levels, but on human relations, nobody can fault the governor. You can imagine, like he said, you can imagine a governor that's able to carry everybody along. Traditional rulers, he carried them along. Labor leaders, he carried them along. Student leaders, he carried them along. Opposition politicians, he carried them along. During the time that they had this commissioning of the cargo airport, all the former governors were there. Shegun was there, Fayose was there, Fayemi was there, Niyi Adebayo was there, and you wonder, it has never happened before. In fact, not only in Ekiti, in everywhere, but that how he has managed to carry everybody along is something that we must give to him. And then, of course, I saw him on an occasion when he prostrated full blast for Chief Afe Babalola. And you wonder that this must be an Omoluabi. I've met him once. I met him when 2 Ekiti Obas were killed by bandits, and I went in the company with some Afenifere leaders to commiserate with him, and we discussed his humility, the way, in fact, it looks like somebody who put sugar in his mouth.
You will meet it there.
So I was telling him, I said, you look like somebody, and he will just smile. And then when you give him advice, you say, thank you very much, we'll look into it. Because that time I remember telling him, why don't you do something about these forest guards? So they say, yes, we are aware of it. We're going to do something. And eventually they did something. So I think that it's kind of politics, this politics of being able to rally everybody to and inclusion. Yes, the policy of inclusivity that he's playing. I think that is what I find very, very special to him. And if you have somebody like that who can carry everybody along, the tendency is there will be development. However slowed the pace of development may be, if we can carry it on from one administration to another, before long you discover that we'll have a lot of good news to talk about Ekiti. So I really want to commend him for his ability to rally everybody around it, particularly the disparaged political parties and leaders in Ekiti that never saw eye to eye. Yeah, like my colleague there said, yes, I was in Ekiti for over 2 years when Fayose was governor during the second term, and I'm familiar with all the former governors. I was there when Fayemi was governor. I was there when Shegun was governor. I was even there technically when Niyi Adebayo was governor, and my friend was a CPS, Benga was a CPS, and the MD of Owena Bank, the Agbetuyi, was also close to him, and we all went there. So there is no governor in Ekiti that I have not been familiar with their administration, but that of the present governor stands out in his ability to rally everybody around him.
Okay. Even though you have alluded to the humility of the current governor of Ekiti State, but politics for me is all about performance and how you're able to impact the people. In this particular aspect, are there tangibles for you to tell the Ekiti people who might be watching us right now to actually see the reason why they should re-elect Mr. Oyebanji back as their governor in terms of infrastructure and how he's been able to impact the people to deserve another term?
Yeah, that's what I have just said. You see, I said there is disagreement. You see, politicians will not agree. Those who want to take over his office will not agree that he has performed. So we find a lot of information out there saying that he has not performed very well. We have people say that because of the quantum of resources at his disposal, he should have done better or things like that. And at the same time, we have a lot of information thrown out there by his own people. I'm very familiar, I'm very close to his CPS, Yinka Oyebode. He has sent me a lot of information about we did this, we did that, on education we did this, on health we did this, on roads we did this.
Did you see those things at the time you visited?
I have not.
Oh, you have not visited?
Yeah, I have not visited. Recently I have not visited. Oh,
okay, maybe you should take that up. Yeah. What are the tangibles that Governor Oyebanji has done to deserve another term?
Yeah, thank you very much. Luckily, I am the technical advisor on change management, Office of Transformation and Service Delivery. This is the office that actually superintends over every activity of government, all the MDs. So it's our job to make sure that we fact check that, for example, at the beginning of every term, you must come to us with your work plan. We supervise these work plans, and then we make sure that we track the work plan from concept to execution. So I can tell you without any equivocation that until, like my brother there said, until we had some few days to election, everybody will say, oh, he's doing well. But again, the moment politics began, people began to buy funds in other parties. Then, oh, maybe he didn't do very well. Okay, the airport, maybe he shouldn't have done the airport. Now, it is a landlocked state. And the only way to get out of that was that airport. And one thing with the governor was this, unlike most governments, and this is what brought about everybody together, all the old governments. What did he do different from what the typical politician does? Is that, the typical politician, when he gets in, would say, what this guy has done, I'm not going ahead with it. What the other governor has done, I'm not going. He said, no, I'm going to go to the file and track everything done by a governor that has not been completed. And that was what he did. All the projects started by Oni so many years ago, the governor completed them.
Okay.
All the ones started by Fayose and Fayemi, he completed them. For example, they said he hasn't done anything. I wanted to tell us what he hasn't done. In terms of infrastructure, he has done more roads than any governor in this state. He has built and completed the airport. The flyover that he did, somebody said, the flyover cannot take 2 cars. Listen, gentlemen, the vice president was there yesterday, and he said publicly that was one of the best flyovers he has seen. So we take most of those talks of, in terms of youth development, you need to see the infrastructure this government is putting up. The magnificent infrastructure, sports, in terms of tourism, everybody knows. Ekiti has done more in tourism than any state in Nigeria, and I stand to be corrected. Is it in terms of all the laurels across the board? In terms of agriculture, what God did so many years ago that everybody stopped, the governor brought it back. The governor established hubs in every region which was what Awolowo did in his own time and was left so many years ago, such that Ekiti today is producing food, and people are into farming now. The youths are going back to farming because there are incentives for everybody.
Okay.
In terms of security, as at last month, I can tell you, this is LTV, Ekiti was tagged the safest state in Nigeria, regardless of the shenanigans some few people came to do some weeks ago. They are taking some people, and we're sure we're going to get them back. For every attempt to throw this state into chaos, this government has responded swiftly at that. So, what else again? In terms of infrastructure, I did talk about that.
Right.
The roads that he has done, linking everywhere together. Go to the airport road, go to the roundabout, go to the old Ekiti, which is where farmers come. The government would give incentives to farmers. Farmers buy this food, and then the government uptakes. And we have that place on the road. People go there to buy cheaper food for everybody. So in every way, this government has done very, very well. And we are, and in terms of being honest, the index that talks about what do you call it? Transparency, it is number 1.
Right.
Our processes, our process are clearly online for everybody to see.
Okay, B, so, because of time. Because of time, you've answered Jibola's question on, some of the gains that we have seen with this governor. My concern right now is about voter apathy, because we do know that a lot of Nigerians, sometimes do just want to stay away from casting their votes because of trust issues, because of so many things. I'd like to ask you, what are you consolidating on in Ekiti, especially how are you getting into the minds of the young people in Ekiti State to ensure that they cast their votes for Governor Oyebanji? If we go by the numbers, in 2022, he scored 187,000 votes to bring him in as the governor. Are you looking at surpassing that number in, in another way? Are you looking at ensuring that, the votes that will bring him in this time round will surpass 187 to again show that this man is indeed loved by the people of Ekiti State?
Thank you very much, Guber. You're absolutely correct. We looked at the numbers, and I can assure you that the reasons why those things happened in those days was because people trusted politicians. When politicians, if a government is coming to a town, let me take Ikeja, people from Mile 12 and all the rest will come and join them. So the politician will think he is very popular. When it is time for election, you find out that it's the same crowd following you up and down. But what this government has done is different. We didn't do that at all. What we did was to go to every region and allow the people in that place alone to come. And we saw from these numbers that people are out. And don't forget the foundation. The foundation is, like he said, he carried everybody along ad initio. The traditional rulers, the market women, the students, and so everybody. Let me tell you what, we set a target of 500,000 votes for this election. And it will come to pass, because we are confident now that everybody wants to show that for the first time, we love this man. We are truly, it's not bought, it's not paid for. It's something that we did by ourselves, and we put that on Saturday.
Okay.
Okay. Even though the current administration has engaged people in the 16 local government areas of Ekiti State, on the part of INEC, what do you think INEC should do better this time around to build the confidence of the people and ensure that the entire process is transparent, free, and fair?
Yeah, thank you very much. Concerning a voter party, it's not limited to a particular state. It's nationwide, and it's because a lot of people are losing confidence in the system. You see, people are angry that they are not being taken care of. People are not happy with the way our leaders are doing things. The insecurity in the system is making people to want to stay indoors. A lot of people are afraid that they can be kidnapped, banditry, and things like that. And then the economic problems are also there. People are not happy. The economy is biting harder and harder, and things like that. All those are things that affect voter party. It is when people are happy with the system that they will come out, they want to vote, they want to stay in the sun, they want to stay in the rains, they want to cast their vote. And another problem is also that people don't believe that their votes count. They believe that whether they vote or not, they will declare somebody. So don't worry yourself, somebody else said they will declare somebody. So that is where INEC comes in. INEC must ensure that the elections are credible. We must ensure that the people have confidence in the system, because when people do not have confidence in the system, then there is a problem with the system. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. When people lose confidence in that system, the system becomes unhealthy. And when it becomes unhealthy, it is easy for people to come and topple that, and then we have had democracy since 1999, 27 years running. We want to keep it going. For us to be able to achieve that, people must have confidence in the system. People must believe in the system. People must be ready to support the system and defend the system against general so-and-so or so-and-so. It's when those people know that the people have confidence in the system, nobody will venture out. Because normally what they say is that they will always cite by problems, the problem of this, the problem of that, of corruption, of this, of that, to justify any takeover. So it is important that we make sure that the system is working well, the people have confidence in the system. Elections must be free and fair. Elections must be devoid of thuggery, because people are afraid, violence. People are afraid to come out because they don't want to lose their lives. But if they know that they can go out and vote, and then there will be no violence, they will return home, and their votes count, then we can say that more people will come out. So they have set a figure of 500,000, like you said. Let us see. There is no state that has attain that threshold in recent elections.
We'll do that.
Yes, let's see whether that will be able to come to pass in Ekiti State.
Okay, right. Before we let BE go, I was going to ask him a final question before we let him go this morning, and that would be, B, if you can hear me, the question is, how key is the win for APC in Ekiti State? What kind of signal will that send towards the 2027 general elections? Did you get my question?
How keen?
Key. A win for Ekiti. A win for APC in Ekiti. What signal will that send to the general election in 2027?
Of course, for us, it will send a very, very positive signal to the president. Ekiti happens to be the first to always come out. And if you check our track record, we've always called for the president, more than 90% every time. So a win for Ekiti will bolster the confidence of Mr. President that the people are truly behind him. And that's why, like I said, we're involving everybody that's not been involved before, all the stakeholders, all the former governors, regardless of political parties, all market women, all students, everybody's trooping out this time. And we've done house to house. And we are sure that when we come out this time, the results will definitely let Nigerians know that APC is the way to go.
All right, we'll have to let BE go this morning. BE Fashion, thank you so much for speaking with us all the way from Ekiti State. BE is the technical advisor to the Governor on Change Management, Office of Transformation and Service Delivery. Indeed, we thank you for your time on the program this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, of course, we still have Mr. Balawale here. Mr. Balawale, let me come back to you. I still want us to stay with the issue of voter apathy and, of course, the role of INEC in this. I know that the election is just a few days away, but in the next few days, what are the things that you'd like for INEC, the political parties, security agencies to focus on at ensuring, voter awareness and assuring the people that their votes will count, and of course their security is also ascertained?
And the first thing is that they should assure the people of their safety. Let voters know that the state is safe. We shouldn't hear of any kidnapping, of any banditry or terrorist attack during this election, before this election. Otherwise, people will stay at home. People will be afraid. You see, you want a situation where people will come out. But if now a school is invaded, school children are kidnapped, or people are waylaid on the way, or what they do now, they go right inside the people's homes. They go into palaces and kill traditional rulers, and you want people to come out and vote in an election. That would be asking for too much. So security of life and property must be ensured. People must be assured of their security. People must be assured that they are safe. People must be assured that when they go out to vote, that they will go out in one piece and return to their homes in one piece. That is one. Number two, people must be assured that their votes will count. But there is no point going out to go and vote when you know that your vote will not count. Votes must count. You must count the votes at the polling booths. Then you must declare the results. You must play according to the rules. The laws are there. We have been told what to do, and we have been told the INEC positions. INEC must do that, and then the results of the polling booths must reflect. You know that you see we find a lot of monkey games being played. You see researches that are mutilated, that figures are changed, and things like that. All those ones will not be okay. So if this election by INEC chairman, Professor
Josh Amobito,
yes, if it goes well, then he gives us a positive signal
for 2027.
But if in one state alone, INEC cannot perform, the security forces cannot perform, cannot police just one state alone, how then do you expect them to police 36 states? If INEC cannot perform in one state, how do you expect INEC to perform all over the country? So it is a litmus test, not only for APC, it's also for INEC, it's also for the security forces, it's also for the politicians, because a lot of times we must understand that the ball stops on at the desk of the politicians. They are the ones that manipulate the system. They are the ones that subverted this and subvert that. If the politicians are not ready to play by the games, they make the job of every other person difficult. They make the job of the security forces difficult. They make the job of INEC difficult. They make even the job of voters difficult. So we must appeal to the politicians too, that it is in their interest that the system must be sustained, because if this democracy is truncated again, it's the politicians that will suffer most.
Okay. Aside from those issues that you have raised, INEC also have this problem of late arrival of election materials. So what do you think INEC should do in this direction and ensure or put in place a strategy wherein electoral materials will get to the 16 local government areas of Ekiti State on time, so that people will not be discouraged? Because when they are there and the INEC ad hoc staff are not on ground, some might be discouraged and, of course, go back home.
Yeah, because we have had that, we have seen that happen again and again, that people will be on queue, there will be nobody to attend to them. But that shouldn't be the case, because we have been having elections for quite some time, and we ought to have mastered the process. By now, the election materials ought to have arrived in Ekiti, safe and sound, maybe at the central bank or wherever they want to keep them. And it should be easy for them to distribute these materials within a day or two. Fortunately, Ekiti is not a very expansive state. Before you move 1 minute or 2 minutes, you get to one Ekiti town. By the time you go, you get another Ekiti town. Ekiti is within it's like we say,
community.
Yes, like a community. So it shouldn't take much time. There are no rivers. You don't have to use canoe. You don't have to use anything. You don't have to run up and down. So it shouldn't take time for them to distribute election materials. Their logistics must be excellent. If there is any problem about late arrival of materials, it must be that there are lapses within INEC. It wouldn't be because the state is very big, the terrain is
unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah. So I don't expect that we should have any problem like that. Just one state, they should be able to manage it very well.
Okay, let's talk about vote buying, because that also is an issue. Because again, you hear people say, you mentioned something close to that earlier, where people will say, oh, is that what we will eat? Is it bridges that we will eat? And we know that gradually vote buying is creeping into the system, and people will ask for these things. Are we able to eradicate or minimize issues around vote buying?
Yeah, let's be talking about minimizing, not eradicating. Because in the university we learned that there's something they call functionalism of corruption. Corruption exists. Yeah, corruption exists because it serves a purpose.
There's a purpose.
A function, yes, if it does not serve a purpose, it will not. Anything that exists to serve a purpose. You see, corruption exists because it serves a purpose. If you are driving against traffic and they arrest you and they say they take you to the police station, they are going to forfeit your car, you are going to go for psychiatric test, you are going to pay 50,000, and you know you can spend 5,000 and get away with it. You will pay 5,000 and get away with it. And some people even quote the Bible. That it's written in the Bible that if they, you know. So these things happen because it serves a purpose.
Okay.
Corruption exists because it serves a purpose. Vote buying, vote selling exists because it serves a purpose. The person who is selling his votes needs the cash.
And the person who is buying
needs the votes. So is a supply and demand. So for as long as it is there, you can only minimize it. And what leads to it is that there is need. There is lack. There is people are hungry and they need money. A governor was distributing 2 Congos of rice and 2,000 naira to people sometimes, and I was laughing. He said, "Yes, sir, it is because you ate yesterday that this thing does not matter anything to you." It is because, and you know where you will eat this evening. That is when it does not matter. So these people, some of them have not eaten for 3 days. You now called one old woman and says, Mama, you know, she said she has not eaten since yesterday. So these 2 Congo of rice and these 2,000 naira, he will stop at the market and buy pepper and buy this. He knows that at least he will eat for the next 2 or 3 days before he will start looking for another one. So it's poverty.
Okay.
So people sell their votes. You wonder, why should somebody, will I go and sell my votes for 5,000 naira or 10,000? Will they even come to me?
You.
They won't come to, they know the people to approach because they know the people who need this thing. Right. So it is poverty. So until we are able to eradicate poverty, people are so poor, in fact, they will do anything. And this amount of money that we think is nothing is something to them. It's a lot to them, yes.
Right, so you would say that we should do more by minimizing rather than totally eradicating.
Yes.
We'd leave this conversation here this morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Bola Bolawale, journalist, political observer, for finding time to be with us on the program today. I would like to say congratulations for the honor bestowed on you by Mr. President on June 12 as one of the proponents of the June 12 elections. We say congratulations to you once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Right, that's the time. That's all time will permit us to take on this side of the table this morning. We'll take a quick break. When the conversation returns, Joy will be here with her Lagos conversation.